Great. Okay, we'll get started. So we won't have too much chat to begin with today. We'll just get started into some practice. We did have a request yesterday from someone for some practices that might help with anxiety. So that's going to be a little bit of a focus of our session today. We'll focus on some things to strengthen and settle the earth element and some of the things that relate to that, which is very helpful in terms of working with anxiety. And then at the end, we will have some time where we can have some question and answer and some discussion, even some requests, whatever it is that we want to focus on. So I'm going to stand up. We'll get ready. All right, so we're going to do a bit more practice than we did last time, and it's going to be a little bit more of an active, slightly more active session. Not super active, it's still going to be reasonably gentle, but a bit more active than the one yesterday. So we'll start, if you put your hands together, we're going to do some joint rotations to warm up, to get ourselves, so starting with our wrists, making gentle rotations. And we'll change directions and rotate the other way. Moving out to your elbows, if you open your arms wide, and then we're going to circle the arms from the elbows, coming inwards first. And then the other way. Lowering your arms to your sides. We're going to make big circles from our shoulder. Now, I'm going to turn side on. You can still just face the camera. It's just I don't actually have a lot of room behind me here. So I'm going to turn this way. So big circle, raising your arm up, all the way behind, and continuing in a large circle. Just as a hint for you, doing this exercise, it is helpful if you think of it not just as coming from the shoulder, but realize that it's all the way down the side of your body that is opening up through the back and side of your body as you make these large circles from your shoulder. We'll change, we'll go the other way, bringing the arm up behind, down in front. We'll change, circling with your other arm. So bringing the arm up in front, around, down behind, large circles. Again, can be helpful to think of this as not just coming from the shoulder, but realizing it's opening right down the side of your whole body, through your ribs, through your back. And we'll change, we'll go the other way. Moving to the waist, making big, wide circles through our waist, through our hips. Continue with that for just a moment. I'll see if there's anyone else to enter. Great, we'll change direction, circling in the other direction. Big wide circles through our waist, through our hips. Bringing your feet together, placing your hands on your knees, bending your knees a little bit. We'll make some large circles. Circling our knees. And we'll go the other way. And down to the ankles. Put one foot on the ground, circling from the ankle. And the other way. Other ankle. And the other way. Okay, putting both feet flat on the ground. Now with your head and neck, tilting your head forwards and back. Forwards and back. Forwards and back. Now side to side, one side and the other, one side and the other, one side and the other. Dropping your hands down. Relax, we're just going to twist side to side, letting your arms nice and loose, twisting at the spine. Come back to the middle. Breathe in, lift your hands up high, and then breathe out. Breathe in, lift your hands up high. You can come up onto the balls of your feet if you want as well. And breathe out. Release any tension. Breathe in, lift your hands up high. Come up onto the balls of your feet if you want. Breathe out. Release any tension. And then we're just going to stand nice and relaxed. So have your feet shoulder width apart, slightly wider. Sink your weight, let your knees bend slightly. Keep your back straight, shoulders open, neck long. And just take a few moments. You can close your eyes, be aware of your body. Feel every part of your body. Feel the energy in your body. Make your breathing deeper and fuller. And as you breathe more deeply and fully, feel your whole body expand as you breathe in. And relax back as you breathe out. Deep, relaxed breaths aware of your body. We're going to bring our hands onto our lower dantian, so just underneath our belly button. And as you breathe in, feel the expansion start from the dantian. And then as you breathe out, feel that relax back in. So move the activity right down to your lower abdomen. Breathe in, expanding from the lower dantian. Breathe out, relaxing back in. Breathe in, expanding from the dantian. Breathe out, relax back in. Breathe in, expand from the dantian. Breathe out, relax back in. Now opening your arms to the sides, breathe in, so whole body expands. Breathe out, whole body relaxes back in. Breathe in, whole body expands. Breathe out, whole body relaxes. Breathe in, expand. Breathe out, relax. Breathe in, whole body expand. Breathe out. Relax. Leaving your arms at your sides now. As you breathe in, feel just your energy expand. As you breathe out, feel your energy relax back in. So we're moving our awareness out into the field around us. Breathe in, we feel the energy around us expand. Breathe out, we feel it relax back in. Breathe in, feel your field expand. Breathe out, feel it relax back in. Breathe in, feel it expand. Breathe out, relax back in. Okay, so we're going to place our hands onto essentially our solar plexus. So just underneath your sternum, sort of just underneath the border of your ribs. So as I mentioned, someone requested some practices to help with anxiety. Now there are different types of anxiety, but some of the common types of anxiety are strongly related to worry. We'd classify it as worry. And so this nerve plexus sits in the area in the middle of, well, in the middle of the liver and gallbladder and stomach and spleen, and in particular, relating to the stomach and spleen and the earth element. So we're going to take a few moments just to be aware of our energy in this area. Feel the energy of this area underneath the palms of your hands as you take deep, relaxed breaths. Notice how it feels. Notice, does it feel balanced and settled and calm? Or is there maybe some tension in it, some bits that feel a little bit off to the side or a bit twisted? And as we breathe deep, relaxed breaths, let the energy from your hands soak into this area. Feel this area start to warm up, start to glow a little bit more with energy. Feel it start to calm and settle the energy in this area and to loosen any tensions. So we're going to do a number of movements that are going to help to further balance the energy here. And each time afterwards, we're going to return to the simple position with our hands resting to assess the energy and to strengthen and consolidate it here. And we'll talk a little bit more about what each movement does at the end of the session. So bringing your palms together, we're going to breathe in, lifting our hands up, and breathe out, lowering the hands, pointing them down. Breathe in, lifting your hands up. Breathe out, lowering down. Breathe in, lifting the hands up. Breathe out, lowering them down. Breathe in. So we're centering and lining our energy up. Breathe out, sinking down. As you breathe in, raising your energy up, you can imagine your energy extending right up, reaching all the way into the heavens. As you breathe out, you can follow your energy down so it sinks right down deep into the earth. Breathe in. So we line our energy up and help it to connect upwards and also to sink deep down and root downwards, connecting into the earth. Breathe in, coming up through the center. Breathe out, lowering down. Breathe in, coming up. Breathe out, lowering down. And we'll just bring our hands back into this area in our solar plexus. Again, just feel the energy in this area. See if you notice any difference now after that movement. See if it feels maybe a little bit more balanced, a little bit more even. The energy of the center extends out. It's not just from this area, but it comes all the way out to the sides. Specifically, it affects the stomach and spleen and liver and gallbladder, but it also particularly comes all the way around the diaphragm muscle, which sits under the ribs. So as you rest with your palms in this area, you might feel the energy all the way out around the diaphragm muscle, which sits under your ribs. Let this whole area soften, become warm and balanced with energy. Okay, so next we're going to move into a horse stance. So just go as deep as is comfortable for you. If you haven't done a horse stance before, you might only want to come maybe about so wide. If you're comfortable, you can go wider. We want to have our knees go out above our feet as if we're riding a horse. Keep our back straight. We're going to pull our fists back. And this time in particular, we're going to have our fists at the height of our solar plexus. Sit down into your horse stance and feel yourself becoming very solid and stable. This stance is a really good one for connecting to and embodying the energy of the earth. Solid and stable. One of the things that leads to anxiety is feeling as if the earth is shifting underneath you and wanting to hold on and stay stable, but not feeling that you can trust the earth. This posture helps us to feel more stable on the earth. And just as a little tip, something that can make it even more powerful is to think of it not so much as standing on the earth as becoming one with the earth. When you become one with the earth, even if the earth moves, you move with it. And so you no longer have to fear or worry or become anxious about the things going on around you because you are one with the earth. Your very nature is to be solid and stable. Take deep, relaxed breaths while you're in this posture, feeling that solidity, feeling that stability. We'll stay for just a few more breaths. And then gently standing back up, bringing your feet back in to a normal shoulder width apart. And we'll put our hands back on our solar plexus, the center in the middle, underneath our ribs. Breathing deep, relaxed breaths. Again, feel the energy from the palms of your hands soaking into the center, making it strong, stable, and calm, balancing the energy out. Feel that energy spread from your hands out to the sides, and particularly around underneath the edge of your ribs, loosening and softening the diaphragm muscle. Keep breathing deep, full, relaxed breaths. See if you notice any difference in the quality of the energy in the center. Okay, now lowering your hands. We're going to breathe in as we raise our arms to the sides, bringing all of the fingertips together. We're going to breathe out, swing our arms through, leaving our feet where they are, opening our hands, arms to the sides. So we breathe in, raising our arms, breathe out, swing through, let the hands go. Breathe in, raise the arms, bring the fingertips together, breathe out, swing through, let the hands go. Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, breathe out. So we're going to start to do this a little faster, swinging through side to side. And you can think of this, each time as you go to the side, you can think of it as letting go of stress, letting go of worries, just releasing it. So you're throwing it away. So you pick it up, throw it away. 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 Get your own rhythm. Make it a nice, smooth swing, side to side. You don't have to keep exactly the same speed as me, but just make it a nice, smooth swing. Releasing the tension. So we're letting our arms swing, but if you're aware, you might notice each time as you swing to side, there's a squeeze at the bottom of your ribs. It's stretching and loosening your diaphragm muscle. And so we're going to work through this area, getting the blood flowing into our diaphragm muscle, loosening it up so it can release the tensions. We can breathe more calmly and more freely. Just a few more repetitions of this. Release, 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 release. Feel some warmth, some looseness building up underneath your ribs. Energy flowing to the diaphragm muscle. And then gradually slow down. And return to the middle. And again, placing your hands on your solar plexus underneath your ribs. Breathing relaxed breaths. Feel the energy. Gentle, balanced, warm and comfortable in your solar plexus. Strengthening, stabilizing your earth element, which helps us to feel more solid, calm and stable. Lowering your hands. So we're going to integrate that energy. We're going to breathe in, raising our arms up to the sides. Breathe out, lowering them down in front. So breathing energy in, we're drawing it up the spine. Breathe out, we descend the energy down the center of the front of our body. Breathe in, activating yang. And calming with yin. Balancing yin and yang. Integrating the energy that we've been working with to stabilize our earth element. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. Breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Bring your hands to rest back on your lower dantian again. Letting that energy integrate, settle into your body. We're going to do some self-massage, so bringing your hands around into your lower back, massaging the area of your kidneys. And then patting down the outside of your legs, up the inside, up your body, out the inside of one arm, up the back of the arm, outside the inside of the other arm, up the back of the arm, over your face, over your head, and down, all the way down your back, down your legs, up the inside of your legs, out the inside of one arm, back up the outside of the arm, other arm, over the top of your head, down. We're going to go around one more time, all the way around. And we'll stop at our waist, bring the hands back in front again. Let all of the energy settle. Okay, let's, I'm gonna sit. We'll have just a little bit of Q&A and feedback, things like that. So if you want to keep looking at the top of my head, you're welcome to. Otherwise, if you can find the little box that says, the other screen that says John Monroe on it, if you're on a computer, you click on the 3 dots. If you're on, otherwise you touch it on your screen and then select pin video, and then you'll see my face rather than the top of my head. Okay, how was that session for everyone? Just another reasonably short one, but focusing a little bit on the earth element and settling the earth energy, which can really help with anxiety. A lot of anxiety really, you know, it comes from responding to the world around us and not feeling like we're stable, not feeling we can cope with it, and so reacting inappropriately to it. If I know some of you have done our Release the Power of Your Breath course, and there we go through a lot of details about breathing. And breathing, of course, has many important and vital roles. One of the big things is that our breath changes, not just in terms of our energy needs, but when we need to brace for different things. So a big part of this, our breathing affects how strongly we can brace for different situations. And when things are changing and moving all around us, and we're not able to move with it, we naturally end up, our diaphragm muscles not really sure what to do, and it becomes very stiff and stuck. And this then goes on to affect the spleen and the stomach and so on. And so when we strengthen the earth energy by strengthening the nerve, relaxing and loosening the energy, we become able to adapt to the changes around us more. We don't have to have everything completely stable and solid around us in order for us to feel calm. If you think of a surfer, you know, the sea is moving all the time, but they learn to be able to adapt and move with it. So this is the same with us to some extent. When we learn instead of trying to brace and trying to react to every little thing, instead to be able to go with it, this can let go of some of our anxiety, to realize that we can still have support even when things are moving all around us, which is certainly what is happening in the world right now. Does anyone have any questions or comments or anything about this practice first, and any of the things that we did? And then after that, if anyone has any more general questions or things that they'd like to talk about in relationship to Qigong. So we've got a few comments, people saying it was very energizing, someone saying it was tingly. after doing it. That was great. Someone said needed this one today. When you said to feel the energy, what do you mean by that? What should it feel like? So there's not really a should, because there's lots of different things that you can feel, and there's lots of different aspects to the energy. You can take a very mystical approach to energy, or you can take a very practical approach to energy, and you can actually combine the two and recognize the harmony between those. From a practical point of view, you know, the energy in our body, there's many different types of energy moving all of the time that collectively make our living energy. There's heat from the activity of our cells. You know, when we're doing things, it generates heat. There's electricity from the activity of our nerves, and also from the activity of all of the cells. There's physical movement from the movement of blood, the movement of the bones and the tissues, and all of these sorts of things. We can feel all of those things together. So, for example, when we were focusing on this energy here, different things that you may feel. You may simply feel warmth. The level of warmth is an indication of what's happening with all of the other types of activity. If you're cold, it means that the cells aren't functioning there well. You know, they're not really very active. If they're too hot, they might be too active. But when we have a gentle warmth, it means the cells are active, and then in relationship to that, it means that the blood is going to be flowing there as well. Equally, there are other sensations we can feel. It can feel a little bit tingly. Someone mentioned tingly. This often comes from the activity of the nerves. You know, we feel some tingles as they become active. And again, as the nerves relax, they often become more active. When we're too stressed, they become tight, and it shuts their activity off. When we relax, the activity flows back in, and we start to have healthy activity, and things can start to, you know, work the way that they should, the way that they need to. On top of that, you know, we can feel aspects of physical movement and so on. The more you practice Qigong, I'm not going to deliver a thesis on, on how we feel energy, but the more you practice, you become more familiar with some of these different sensations and what they mean within your body. But you know, generally some nice, comfortable warmth, sometimes some tingling, or some feelings of movement and feeling calm and active is what we're aiming for in terms of healthy energy sensations. Let's see, we've got some more questions or comments. Can you tell us a bit more about yin and yang, particularly how one generates the other? For example, if I'm agitated, do I need to do more yang practice to generate yin? So there's a lot of wisdom required in terms of understanding if we need more yin or more yang at a particular time. Again, I can give you some analogies. So sometimes if you're feeling agitated, so agitation normally means there is activity, but it's not coherent activity. It's disorganized activity. It doesn't have a direction, an effective direction to go in, whatever's happening. So it's doing things, but it's not sure what. Two different approaches you can use. You can just try and calm that activity down, or you can go, okay, I've got this activity, let's give it somewhere to go. Instead of it all going in all different directions, let's tell it needs to start doing this. So let's get it all to line up and do something useful. Then when it does that, this can be a way to release the energy, and then it will naturally calm down. Different approaches can be helpful in different situations. Sometimes what you want is to become more active. You give it somewhere to go to be released before relaxing. Other times it can be suitable just to calm down. So in our session today, we did a mix of both of those. When we were simply placing our hands there, it was very relaxing, very calming. But then we did some things that were more active to actually increase the activity there before calming again. So for example, standing in the horse stance, it actually puts quite a lot of activity in through our ribs and so on into this area. And particularly the other exercise that we did, which many of you will recognize as a modification of Crane Looks Behind, gets a lot of activity going through there to help to release any activity that's built up, which then helps it to relax more fully and effectively afterwards. Let's see here. Anyone having trouble sleeping? could use some ideas. So again, there's lots of different aspects to this according to what might be going on specifically for you, and there can be the different elements can be involved and different organs and so on. Particularly at the moment, a concern that many people may have, depending on the level of lockdown you happen to be in, is different. There are different rules, different parts of the world. If you're not getting as much physical activity as you normally would, and it can surprise you how much activity you actually normally get just on a daily basis, just walking to and from places and things like that. If you're just stuck in your house, you may not be getting all that activity. And so one of the things that's really helpful is to make sure you get enough activity, get that yang, which will help you then to release into the yin that you need to sleep. So that's probably relevant to quite a few people right now. Make sure you get enough activity during the day so that you can relax better at night. When you get to that night time and you need to relax, I mean, the practice that we did overall was quite relaxing today, but there's lots of other things that are helpful as well. Just regulating your breath can be a great way to help to enter into that relaxation phase, gradually slowing it down. A way that we do this commonly is you just count how long it's taking you to breathe in, count how long it's taking you to breathe out, balance those out, and then gradually extend by one count the in-breath, balance that with the out-breath, do that for several breaths, extend by one more count, extend by one more count, and you gradually slow down. As your breathing slows down, everything else slows down, your mind slows down, your body slows down, and that can be a great way to relax and prepare you to sleep. When we twisted the elbows, we went one direction. Why to the inside first? Are you talking about the warm-ups at the beginning? It's possible that I just got distracted because I was trying to let people into the room. I will have the waiting room switched off next time. Yeah, I'm not sure quite exactly what happened there, unfortunately. Okay, very nice. Someone says, how about talking about the emotions related to the earth? So I'll talk briefly about that. So worry, this is hopefully from the general theme of what I've talked about. This is a big part of the earth. Element related to this is sympathy. And because you think about it, when you have sympathy for other people or situations, that can often lead to worry. What we want, so worry is about trying to figure things out, trying to solve problems. This is essentially what worry is. What we want in terms of healthy earth emotion or healthy earth element is to be confident and flexible in that, to realize sometimes we need to think about things, but also realize where something is out of our control, and essentially to relax and trust the earth underneath you, trust that things are going to be okay. So yes, do your part, but be able to let go when there's nothing more for you to do. In the first movement for alignment centering, I noticed you kept the legs straight when pointing the fingers down. I tend to bend in the knees and sink down. Not sure where I picked that up. Is this just two versions of the same thing? Yes, it is. Yeah, just small modifications. So it's fine to do that either way. I understood you said there is a relationship between fear and earth element or plexus area, and then you mentioned the gallbladder. I didn't get that, thanks. Okay, so this does get a little bit more complex in terms of the interaction between the different elements. So we often talk about one emotion as belonging to one element and another to another, but really there's, in all of the emotion, there's an interaction between all five of the elements, and it's just that it sits more strongly with one or another. So fear is typically considered part of the water element. Worry or anxiety? Of course it does. We might class something more as fear and more as worry or anxiety, but there is a connection between them. And so, yeah, it's a lot of subtlety and nuance there. And then I also mentioned the gallbladder, yes. So again, is there a relationship between the wood and the earth element? The wood element relates to gallbladder, earth the stomach and spleen and so on, yes, there is a connection between the emotions and the function between them. And so the solar plexus in particular is going to be working on both the earth and the wood element, because the organs relating to them sit at the same level in the body. Our focus was more on the earth element today, though. Does chat autocorrect? I thought I typed knees. I have no idea. I'm new to this this app. It might. I mean, in the warm-up, yes. Okay. Thank you. I'm usually more active. So that was in reply to what I said before about someone was asking about having trouble sleeping. And they're saying, yes, they are usually more active. And there's lots of little habits and patterns that we have in life that our body gets used to. And it has a rhythm and it kind of knows what to expect and how to handle things. And when our habits get thrown out, we might not even be aware what it is that's changed, but it changes other things as well. So I guess as another tip for people with all of the things going on right now is try to make healthy routines and habits. Try to, it's probably going to be different from your normal routine, but come up with some routines that give you what you need. So don't just think, well, I'm in lockdown, I'm not going to do this or that. Find a way to fit things into a healthy routine, so that your body and your energy can adapt to that. Hang on. How long do you practice Qigong daily? And how long should we practice to feel positive benefits? So how long do I personally practice Qigong daily? It varies according to the other demands on me, because again, if I'm very busy with other things, then it does mean I have less time sometimes for Qigong practice. While I have been recovering from my who knows what it is, where hopefully I'll get my test results today. Maybe it's COVID-19, maybe it's just a regular cold that I've had. I have been practicing short practices more regularly. And that's because my energy level has been lower. It's been easier to get me tired. So doing a long practice session probably would not have been helpful to me at this stage. But what I've been doing is I've been doing about half an hour 2 or 3 times a day. And I've found that very good to rebuild my energy without straining it too much. At other times, and again, depending on the amount of demand on my time, so how much time I have available, I might practice for an hour twice a day, or sometimes 2 hours in one block, depending on what's going on. Other times, when things are really hectic, or perhaps I'm traveling and I'm in transit and so on, I might not have time for that either. And even 5 minutes can be enough to make a real positive difference. And you'll notice that difference if you do it versus if you don't do it. To be able to, if you go, cool, okay, I'm really hectic, but I'm going to take at least 5 minutes, and you'll notice the difference that makes to your energy, and then the difference that makes, as you feel how you are doing the other things that you have to do in your day. Let's see. So thanks, John. Very helpful. Nice preparation for next meeting. Apologies for leaving early. Someone had to leave early. That's okay. Understandable. Okay, I heard 3 hours a day if you really want to get positive benefits. Okay, so here's a question, just again as an analogy. What is it that you want from your Qigong? We'll compare it to being an athlete or a runner of some sort. Are you wanting to be an Olympic level athlete? Or are you wanting to just be fit and healthy and comfortable? Do you need to run for 3 hours a day to have good basic fitness? Not really. Do you need to do that if you want to reach peak Olympic level performance? Yes, you do. And so it comes down a lot to your motivations. When I was first studying Qigong seriously, I would do 4 hours a day, every day, for about 4 years. And you develop skill and ability and some deep things inside you by doing that. But that is by no means necessary to get benefits. basic physical activity, going for a 10-minute walk is still going to give you a lot more benefit than going for no walk at all. You know, and that is going to maintain some basic level of health and well-being. So it's really up to you what your motivations are. And yes, to develop more ability as part of it, yes, you're going to need to do more practice. But for some general health and well-being, you will get benefit from just shorter practice sessions as well. You'll get a lot of benefit. Okay, this is brilliant, having live lessons from you together with others from all over the world. I find it inspiring and very comforting in this isolated time. Thank you so much. That's nice, thank you. Yes, after yesterday's session, while out on my daily hike, I felt calm and connected to nature in a deeper way. Yeah, that's one of the great things with Qigong is, aside from all of the benefits it gives you, as you become more aware of your energy and your energy becomes healthier, it does become, you get a different quality of interaction with the world around you and the energy around you. And particularly as you progress in your practice, that becomes stronger and stronger. So again, if you're doing, you know, a lot of Qigong, you start to tune into different aspects of things around you. Oh, hang on, I'm missing a few. I don't want to skip. Okay, hi John, do you have any plans to teach a course on hard Qigong in the future? Yes, probably. Some of the wild animal play aspects of it you could consider to be a type of hard Qigong. It's not hard, but it's definitely on the more yang scale of things. I do have plans for an iron shirt course, and possibly some other aspects of hard Qigong as well. Iron shirt probably is the most general of the hard Qigong skills, so I'll do that. Thanks, John. Another great practice, Alessia. Oh, a lot of health benefits from iron shirt as well. Okay, you hit the main point, thanks. I find that often people set unrealistic goals, and when they don't reach them, they lose their motivation. Important to align goals, practice, and ability. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. You're inspiring, motivating, and such a nice person all around. I'm so glad I found your website. Thank you, that's very nice. Just an FYI, I don't know if it is because I moved where I am today, but I had much better connection. I was able to see you move and hear you through the entire session. Yesterday was very choppy video that cut out for several minutes at a time, and the audio yesterday cut out totally for the first several minutes. So much better today. So just for everyone to be aware, a lot of that will be down to your own connection, you know, your ability to stream it in. If there are problems with my connection, everyone will have an issue at the same time. Otherwise, the connection can be good for everyone, because essentially all of our data is going to a hub in one place, and then it's being sent out to us. So as long as my connection is good, most people it should be smooth. And if things are choppy, that will be down to your own connection. So that's something you can be aware of, is like checking how strong your connection is if you're having problems. And of course, if everyone experiences a problem at the same time, I'll know it's my connection. Cool, okay. That seems to have covered people's questions and comments for now. I hope everyone's enjoyed the session. Did have that little technical glitch with the waiting room this morning. I will change that. Well, morning for me, probably evening for some of you. I will change that on the next one, so that makes things smoother for how the session runs. And again, these sessions are going to evolve a little bit over time. While I have taught online for some time, I haven't taught in this format, and obviously other people are getting used to it as well. It's even possible I may try hosting this on some different platforms to make it smoother, but this is working pretty well for now. I will schedule, so this was our last scheduled session. I'm looking at the times, and I'll schedule some more for next week. I'll put that out in the email newsletter. It'll be on the page on the website, which probably that's where a lot of you found the link to come in. I'll put that on there once I've figured out what those times will be. I'll put on Facebook, things like that. So thanks for coming along, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you at another one soon. Oh, I'll make a note to people in case you didn't know. We are running the 12-week courses again starting in a couple of weeks. So if any of you had some of those that you were wanting to go through, just with all of this disruption and things, we're going to run those again if people, someone's been waiting on some of those. All right, thanks everyone. I guess we've covered everything, so we'll end the session there and hope to see you soon.